Hello, you're listening to a We Will Fix It podcast short with Colin Thomas and myself, James Piecowye.
It's quite an amazing one. So we set up originally with the first business in 2008,
Okay.
and we've still got that trade license live at the moment. We then started kind of in the background with ice cold air conditioning, which was our original trade license.
Oh, ice cold air.
In about 2011, I think, which then got changed to essential air conditioning maintenance, which is the current other trade license alongside WeWillFixIt that we have, and that covers everything that we do properly, which is the other big question for a lot of people.
So the different trade licenses do different things.
Yeah, you have one.
You couldn't have one that just covers everything.
Well, believe it or not, we're working on that now. But you talk about back in the day and now.
Yeah.
So back in the day, you definitely couldn't. We had a technical license and a non-technical license, and the difference is 50,000 dirhams a year.
Yikes!
Yeah, I know. Painful, isn't it? But there we go. And that's how it was. But then the most painful bit, which as a Brit, I really couldn't get my head around initially when we were looking into it, was 51% of our business was to be owned by a local that we only ever met once.
Right.
And there's this side agreement that every expat writes with the local to say, oh, I know how we're saying that you own 51%, but in truth, we'll pay you a bit of cash each year. And in return, that 51% counts for nothing. Well, that got tested in court once a while back, means absolutely nothing. So in effect, you've got somebody who's never had anything to do with your business that you've been paying every single year.
Who basically owns the business.
Who owns 51% of your business. And obviously, Dan and I split the rest. Now, that has some real logic when you think about it from a UAE perspective, which is, in truth, we're all here as guests of the UAE and to facilitate what they need for the country to be successful.
I'm going to pause you for a sec. The challenge is, as you said, coming from a Western country where this type of arrangement doesn't exist.
No, exactly. Yeah,
so it's hard to do that mental shift, but remembering that you're here at the grace of the country and whoever's brought you in.
Yeah. But also part of that job is the funds provision for your local population.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And part of that is in the sponsoring process that's been available until now.
Right.
So our sponsor, for instance, was worked in a government department. He was a student when we first met him in 2000. Well, yeah, we did meet him in 2008 actually, and now he heads up that entire organisation.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it is. So absolutely, Mabruk. Yeah. So a real progression for him. But as a business, we were a nugget in 2008, and we're a whole different beast now. So we had a conversation 12 months ago about the process that's happening. And I think I could be wrong, but I think it's to bring it more in line with international standard trading practices.
Yeah, I think World Trade Organization.
Yeah, probably all that stuff.
There's so much change going on in the UAE. I mean, we've got unemployment insurance now, a form of.
Yes.
That did not exist until like last month. Or, I think it's been 5 months now. But
it's June that's the deadline on that one. We've got corporate taxation coming in.
Right.
2 years ago, we had VAT that came in. 5 years ago, we had the wage protection system.
Exactly.
That came in as well. So, no, it's all steps in the right direction. Oh, and amortization. I nearly missed that one out, but don't get me started on that. So, where we are right now was, 12 months ago, we started that whole discussion.
Of how do you take over the entire business and not have 51% in the hands of the student who is now the head honcho at this organization. Okay, gotcha.
So the reality is he still owns 51% of the business, and he's not going to give that up free of charge.
Right.
So the discussion happened last year, and in truth, we didn't get to a conclusion. So we carried on for another year. Anyway, this year, I think there was a realization that we will actually walk away, if needs be, from that discussion. And he came down dramatically. Okay. So we ripped his arm off there and then. And 8 days later, we are making those transfers happen. And that actually happened yesterday.
Are there any businesses that will stay with that 51% model, or do all businesses need to come to an agreement?
To be fair, I wouldn't know that.
Okay.
The logic dictates, very famous logic here, isn't it? Logic dictates that we are a mainland LLC rather than a free, one of the free zones where you can always could own 100% of it, but you couldn't trade within Dubai itself.
Right, Jebel Ali or...
Yeah. Or when I say trade, that's product trading or actually service trading in some instances where you physically need to be in Dubai to do it, like we are. So I can't answer that question, but it seems logical that there is very much a push for all businesses to divest of their sponsors, but it doesn't seem like it's a requirement as yet.
Okay.
However, there was quite a significant shift in the approach that we received to last year, which suggests that there is some pressure coming, maybe
some writing on the wall.
There might be some writing on the wall that suggests that now's the time to make it happen. So, I mean, it's nuts to think we always knew, that we wanted to own the own business in its entirety because it was logical, and it's been almost 15 years to get to this point.